You mentioned the belts. Tyson Fury's vacated the Ring Magazine belt, so officially the winner on Saturday will be the best in the world. Is that how you see it?
Nah, nah. Unless he's like 100% retired, like. But you got to beat Fury as well. But this ain't about Fury, with all due respect. But that's just my view on that. But as it stands, you're just a winner. You're a winner at the end of the day. There's always another challenge out there. Until you retire, you're always going to be challenged to prove you're the best in the world. The minute you say you are the best is the minute you should pack up. But yeah, that's enough on that Tyson Fury situation.
What's good, family? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Oh my god. So we just heard there from your mans, Anthony broke you. Yeah, listen, he lost to Josh. I'd love to sit here and tell you his name was Anthony Johnstua. His name from now on is Anthony Broken You. This guy, the interviewer rocks up to you and tells you, AJ, you and Usyk are about to fight for 3 belts. Fury's gone, retired. Does that make you two, man, the winner of that fight, the best in the world? Now listen, he shouldn't even care what Fury's doing. About, oh well, if Fury hasn't actually retired, then that means he's the best. What? What's this guy talking about? As a heavyweight boxer, yeah. Well, boxing's supposed to be one of the most, if not the most, egotistical sports. You could be, there's dudes, yeah, who aren't even, back in the 90s, there was dudes not even in the top 10 who would tell you they're the best and believe it. Yes, their skills wouldn't obviously get them to that pinnacle, but deep in their heart, they would pass a lie detector, even though it was obvious they weren't the best in the world. That's the kind of belief you need. That's why mid-level dudes, top 20 dudes, were able to go in there and put on a show against the very best. They had that burning belief, I am as good as him. These times in 2020, you got a whole bunch of jokers, like Billy Joe. Billy Joe went in there, I'm the best in the world, this, that, the other, and he got popped, didn't want to know no more. Whole bunch of other examples as well. Canelo even, to some extent. Oh, Canelo, my name's Canelo. I'm going straight up to heavyweight. I'm going to pop all the cherries. Next thing we know, finds himself in a little bit of adversity, and all of a sudden, he ain't really want to know anymore about great. I mean, all of a sudden, he ain't talking no more about cruiserweight or heavyweight. Yeah? I've told you the examples before. Go back and watch Mike Tyson versus Mitch Blood Green. Go back and watch Holyfield versus Burt Cooper. These guys are in there, top 20 guys at best, maybe probably even top 30 guys, in there tangling it with the absolute pinnacle of the sport. Meanwhile, AJ has just been posed a question. If you beat Usyk, does that make you the best in the world? Nah, that's not how I look at it. Well, is Tyson Fury retired? I'm not sure, it depends if he's retired. Depends if he's retired. Wait there. So, you being the best depends on whether Tyson Fury is retired. So what you're basically saying is, you don't believe you're the best. If Tyson Fury hasn't retired, then you think he's better than you. What the fuck? What are we doing here? And the reason I'm doing this video, yeah, I'm sure there's some AJ Man fans out there who will say things like, YB, why is it you always pick up on the negative angles here? Why have you missed this particular comment he made where he said he was going for the knockout? Listen, I give people one chance. In as much as if you stick to your word, if you tell me you've got that knockout spirit in your bonds and you demonstrate that, I'm happy to ride with that. Unfortunately, time and time again, we've heard AJ say, I'm going for the knockout. But in fact, before Usyk won, he was gassing it up. I know what the fans want. The fans want knockouts. I'm done with all that boxing crap. It's straight knockouts from now on. He said that a few times, by the way. And what happened? He went in there and his performance was the opposite of knockout. There was nothing knockout about it. Hence, don't send me no links. Oh, YB, you missed this one. AJ said he's going for the knockout. Well, he said that last time. How'd it play out? It was categorically the opposite of a knockout. Having a knockout in your bones is about spirit. Now, a great example of someone in the UK at the moment who is demonstrating that knockout spirit, and yeah, he's fighting bums, but even so, guess what? There's people fighting bums who still don't show the level of spirit he has. For me right now, yeah, at the bum slaying level, which by the way, most people these days are bum slayers. Let's be real now, most people these days be slaying bums. So, you know what I mean, it's one of them ones. For me, Conor Benn is a prime example of that. Let's not forget people. Conor Benn has fought people that Terence Crawford took 10 rounds with. He got him out of there in 2. That just shows you, yeah, oh, well, you can't do triangles. Listen, if the guy was a complete bum, why didn't Terence Crawford wipe him out in 2 rounds? Oops. Yeah? And Conor Benn ain't got nowhere near the pedigree Terence Crawford has. Terence Crawford like 10 times Golden Gloves, all the other stuff. That there is about that piece of information I've just given you, yeah, that shows you the knockout spirit. The knockout is within him. Now, listen, is it going to turn out that Conor Benn, his ass is going to flap? It may well do. I'm just telling you, that's an example of what I'm talking about. He goes in there and his whole spirit is about doing damage. Guess what? Your man John Stewart, aka Anthony Broken Ewer. Yeah, he can sit up there and cap, yeah, I'm going for the knockout. Yeah, I'm going to do this. And even then, he doesn't even say it like that. He's like, I'm going to get the knockout. Yeah, I'm getting the knockout. What's that? Yeah, but if Tyson, yeah, I'm getting the knockout. But if Tyson Fury's still around, then I'm second best. This guy, man, and this shows me, and that's why it's important to look at the. I mean, who ain't gonna say they're going for the knockout? Who in their right mind selling a pay-per-view is not gonna say they're going for the knockout? You have to look at the more nuanced parts of people's dialogue. He's never gonna say, actually, you know what, my ass is flapping. Please don't buy this pay-per-view. I'm about to put on a whopper of a show. That's never going to happen. What is going to happen is, when you get to the more complex questions, where you actually have some... Listen, it would be possible for AJ to be a complete deceiver. But he ain't smart enough to be a complete deceiver. What I mean by that is, a complete deceiver, I'd say probably David Hayes a better version. David Hayes a more intelligent scammer than someone like AJ. AJ... As you saw there, if he was an intelligent scammer, he'd have told you, Tyson Fury's a bum. I'm the best ever. After I've knocked Usyk out. Do you know what I mean? That's what David Hay used to do. David Hay would get washed by Vlad and then still say, oh, Vlad's a bum or whatever. Yeah? Even though deep down, David Hay knew he was washed. Do you understand? AJ, listen to the dialogue here, people. How can a top heavyweight boxer, I mean the pinnacle, how can a top 3 heavyweight boxer be sitting there and telling you he thinks another man is better than him? You're about to have the fight of your life and you're not even sure if you're the best or not. Oh, but why? I'm sure there's some AJ fans, oh, but YB, he's just being realistic. I can't lie to you, yeah? On AJ's best day, I'm not sure who would win. If you get what I'm saying. If some alien, could come down and squeeze the most out of AJ's bonds, put that guy in with the best Fury, the absolute best AJ versus the absolute best Fury. In my opinion, that's a 50-50 fight. At the moment, it's a 90-10 fight for Fury because AJ's head's shot to bits. AJ, he don't even feel that confident. Oh no, Fury, he's just out here conceding that Fury's better. What have they been doing in camp? This is the same issue I've identified 2 years ago. Oh, but YB, Angel Fernandez has come in and look at all this. Look AJ on the pads. He doing pivots. Yeah, he pivots on pads. What's that going to do? This guy is broken. I hate to say it, but it's the truth. This guy is broken. Any man who will sit up there and for example, I keep talking about Formula 1, but it's a great example because quite a few people watch it. Yeah, check this out. Can you imagine Lewis Hamilton or Max Verstappen or whoever sitting up there and conceding? Just imagine it. Oh well, do you think if Max Verstappen was asked, Max, are you better, or do you think you're the best driver? Can you imagine him coming out and saying, well, has Lewis Hamilton retired yet? If he hasn't, then nah, I've got to beat him. What? Can you imagine that? I can't imagine it. There we go, AJ, 6'6", big buffest Nick you ever seen in your life, and he's sitting there giving all the flowers to Fury. It makes a mockery of the game, and it shows you this guy, I don't know what sort of clone they're puffing out here, but the guy, yeah, who back in 2015 was on this thing militant, it's not the same guy. I'm sorry, it's not. This guy is a big fluffy teddy bear. He's broken. I'm sorry. He hasn't got it. I really do hate to say it, and I ain't gonna lie to you. There was a point in time, a few weeks ago, I was gonna put quite a bit of money on AJ to win this fight. I'm gonna throw 100 quid on this for the shits and gigs of it, but the point is, there's no way I'm backing this. No way. No way. This guy's the same guy, if not worse. Just think about it. AJ already had dodgy mental things going on. Look at the Pulev fight. He hurt Pulev, and it took him 10 rounds of running around the place to get him out of there. He hasn't recovered from the whole Ruiz saga. And then he goes on to lose to a man half his size. Do you think, is that going to help your confidence? Is that going to help your mental state, or make it worse? It's going to make it worse if things aren't addressed. And the fact that he's sitting up here in fight week, 4 days before he's going to war, and he's sitting out here openly, just mugging himself off. Yeah, well, actually, no, I'm not the best if Tyson Fury is around. You should be saying, listen, I couldn't give a fuck if Tyson Fury was on the moon. Tyson Fury could be on the moon, and he'd still be carrying my jock strap. Do you understand? That's what he should have been saying. Yeah? He should have been saying, listen, even the loser of this fight is better than Tyson Fury. But never mind the winner. AJ, do you think the winner of Usyk and AJ is the best fighter in the world? Like I said, the loser is the second best fighter in the world. Tyson Fury, 4th or 5th. That's the kind of shit he should be talking, in my opinion. 4 days out before fight day. He should be peaking right now, feeling like he's just unstoppable. There was some African warlord on called what's his name? General Butt Naked. Yeah, and General Butt Naked and all of his child soldiers would take all of their clothes off until they was butt naked, and then go into battle. And he said when he had no clothes on, when he was butt naked, the bullets couldn't stop him. Yeah, and that's the kind of mental thing you got to get going on. Yeah, when General Butt Naked led all of his child warriors onto the battlefield, stark naked. Imagine that, real bullets flying around the place. He goes straight in. Johnston getting paid $30 million with big fluffy gloves on, and he's sitting out here giving ratings to some next op. I hate to say it, but it's a wrap for Jon Stewart. I hope I'm wrong. Honestly, I hope I'm wrong. It'll be great for me if he ain't shot to bits. But these little signs here, it's a big no-no. It really is a big no-no. And even, as I've said, even the blatant parts. Go and watch all of AJ's interviews, yeah? Even when he talks about the blatant questions like, AJ, are you going for the knockout? There's no passion there, is there? There's no character. There's no burning desire. He says the right things sometimes. Obviously, this example is he's saying the wrong thing, but even when he does say the right things, it's like you don't believe it. He ain't sold it, has he? And that's what I said when I mean. That's what I mean when I said David Haye sold it better. Every time people would believe, yeah, he definitely back on it. David Haye was probably one of the best scammers going. Look at all the Tony Bellew fights, for example, especially the rematch. Can you believe David Haye went into the rematch with Bellend to hit the favourite still? Now this shows you the ability of Haye to have this bit going. Haye would sit up there and tell you all the things, and it was all lies. AJ don't have that. Go back and watch all the David Haye press conferences before the Bellew fight, the rematch. He'd be telling you, listen, he's too small. You know, even though he just got washed in the first fight. It was all that. That's that. David Haye didn't believe it, but the true top level guys, they talk the way David Haye does, but there's actual belief backing it up. Do you understand? David Haye had the mouthpiece, but he didn't have the actual thing inside your chest. Same as McGregor, for example, as well. McGregor, he's got the arrogance. He hasn't got the actual minerals inside him, though. Unfortunately, AJ don't have the arrogance, and he don't have the minerals either. And that is what you call a broken man. He can't even sell it to you. Do you understand? He's that down bad. He's that broken. He can't even lie to you properly. He can't even give you a convincing lie. He really is checked out of this game. I did a video a few weeks ago. AJ was in Oxford Union and he said, well, the interviewer said, AJ, what defines you? What defines your character at the moment? And he said, money. That there sums it up, people. The only reason you see AJ at this event, it's obvious to me now, the only reason he's even there is for the money. He's completely uninterested. And if you disagree, yeah, please show me an interview where you see that burning desire. Just send me the interview through that convinced you and made you believe, wow man, now this guy's serious. I know this guy is ready to bleed on the battlefield. I ain't seen that one. People have criticised AJ of being a company man at the best of times. People back in 2015 was calling AJ the company man. But for example, look at the way AJ faced off against, what's the guy's name? Brazil. Yeah? AJ was all up in Brazil's grill and he had them eyes, that stare. It was almost like the Mike Tyson. Was it Mike Tyson versus Bruce Seldon? I'm not sure, but either way, there's a video, yeah, of Mike Tyson doing a stare off and his eyes are tracking him going left and right. AJ versus Brazil was a kind of similar thing. Now again, Brazil was a bum. But the point is, it's that energy. You can buy into that energy. Do you understand? Where's that? Go back and watch it. Everyone now who don't believe what I'm saying, go back and watch AJ versus Brazil face off. Feel the intensity. I'm not someone who's massively spiritual, yeah, but there's a force there. You can feel it. Where the force? I've watched most of the interviews AJ's put out. Where's the energy? Where's the force? I said the other day, out of everyone in Team AJ, Eddie Hearn's the only one where I feel any of that vibe going on. Even Eddie said, listen, when we win the belts, I want AJ to tell everyone, I want AJ to say F everyone. That's the kind of attitude. I'd like AJ to say that. You know what? F'd a lot of you. And especially F Usyk, he getting it. Yeah? I don't know who he thought he was. I don't know what he thought this whole thing was. Coming here, nicking my belts. I don't know. The point is, that's the kind of vibe, innit? No vibe. He's straight up and down, as corporate as ever. He honestly looked like a zombie doing the rounds. He was like, the zombies just milling around the place. Unbelievable. He's here to soak a bag up. And it's never been more evident to me. Hope I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, great. I'll make a little piece of coin. But this for me will be the last fight of AJ's career, essentially. If he loses this, because I'm sorry, yeah. I know people rate at Usyk, yeah, but if you're worth anything, a good £240 man should always beat his equivalent, who's £220. It's just how the universe was made. If AJ loses again, it's over for him. And the worst thing is, I've got videos coming soon. Eddie Hearn wheeled himself out. Or people keep saying it's over for AJ, but we've got the Dillian White fight, we've got the Wilder fight, I've got big money for the Wilder fight. Proper cringe, honestly. Super cringe. It makes me wonder what's really going on here. Do you know what I'm saying? Why is Eddie Hearn sending offers out for these random ass fights? Just super odd. Really is odd. No, it's not odd. These men love money. Bottom line.